One aspect of RVing that some people just never get used to is the amount of hot water that you have for taking showers, washing dishes, and so on. Most RVs have a 6-gallon hot water tank, and a lot have 10 gallons, some have 12 gallon, but no matter what you have, you're gonna run out eventually. So, most of the people who like to take long showers,
well, especially if your wife has really long thick hair, 6 gallon just doesn't stretch very far.
It doesn't go very far. So an alternative to having limitations in hot water is to go with a demand tankless water heater. And that's just like this one right here, which is made by Girard. Now these have been out for quite a few years now. The Girard is relatively new to the market. This is designed to retrofit to almost any hot water tank that's designed.
Yeah, so essentially as long as you have propane and water pressure, you're gonna have hot water.
Right, and probably what's gonna happen is if you're not hooked up, you're gonna run out of water first. If you are hooked up, hey, you just stand under the shower from now until you get sick of being under the shower. So, Bill, let's go install this.
Okay, let's show them how to do it.
Okay, Bill, I guess the first part of this install is to get this puppy out.
To get the old one out?
We'll get this one out. So you turn the gas off?
I did.
Water's off?
Turn the water off.
Who gets to drain the...
I do, because I'm closer.
Really? So that means your feet are going to get wet.
No, yours are, because I'm running fast.
Okay, go for it. Okay, we're gonna drain the water out of this thing first. Then we're gonna release the gas line, and then we're just gonna take the screws out and get this guy ready for removal. Okay, so it looks like the, okay, good. I thought your socket was going to be in there forever.
Open the pressure relief valve for me? And I thought you turned the pump off.
Nice work, Bill.
I told you were going to get wet.
Oh. So we're going to release the pressure relief, the valve here. So
yeah, as you can see, it really won't even come out of there very well until you open that pressure relief valve.
So your feet getting wet?
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time.
Well, this is going to take a few minutes before we get started removing the rest of it.
It won't take long.
Actually, let's see how good you are. Do you think you can release the gas line while the water's coming out?
You know what? I might be able to.
Yeah, without getting wet?
I should have brought my waders.
This job is actually suitable for do-it-yourselfers, but it's good to have a pretty good command of how these things, the hot water tanks work. And you have to take it slow, methodically, read the directions. Well, 6 gallons on the ground.
Yeah, we got more of that came from.
All right, let's.
Okay, I'm going to take out the 24 screws holding this thing in.
Oh, get that one out there.
Boy, thank God for cordless drills, huh?
Oh, no kidding.
Doing this by hand, I think I'd have carpal tunnel before the day is over.
Take the door off of this thing here.
Did I get them all?
It looks like it. All right, let's.
Oh, now the fun part.
The fun part.
Getting this thing to come loose.
Good old putty tape.
Yeah, and silicone rubber. Man, they put this thing in with a vengeance.
Well, it's designed to stay there for a while.
I guess it has to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You want to do that side?
I can do that side. Set this thing down there. Okay. Just about ready to come out.
Just about.
Okay.
So we got it loose. And
okay, now we'll just have to go inside and disconnect it.
actually, why don't we pull the, let's see, can we get to the wires first? Oh, we can. Let's do that
That'd be
first.
nice, yeah. Okay,
Let's check.
make sure they're color coded
green to
here.
green, white to white,
Orange
blue
stripe.
to blue.
Yep, I think we're okay.
I think we are. when you do this, make sure you turn the switch to the water heater off, because it is hot, so you'll have a hot and a negative. If you don't turn it off, it'll blow the fuse.
I think we have one other to this relay here that we have to...
No, it's with the water heater
that's
itself.
with the water heater.
Yeah, that's that yellow relay wire.
Okay.
So,
okay, we got to go behind.
yeah, we're done here. Now we have to go inside, pull the lines off the back, and pull the gas line loose, and it'll come out of there. Man, fortunately, there's a louvered access panel right here in the back of this that really makes it easy to get to the back of the water heater. Some of these things can really be buried, make it miserable to get them out. So it looks like we have a gas electric model here. The gas line is already loose. I'm gonna get a hold of these water lines, get them loose. And there's always got to be one stubborn one. That's the rules. So we do have an electric line here. I'm going to get it loose. If I can get that to stay out of my way. Now, we're not going to reuse this electric line because the instantaneous is gas only. So before I'm done, after I pull this out, before we finish up, I want to tape these up really well. Make sure they don't ever have any chance of getting shorted out. Okay, gas line loose, water line's loose. Bob, go ahead and pull it out. We're free.
Okay.
Well, we're not free, but we're cheap.
Okay, we're out.
Well, that left a big hole in there.
Yep, big hole. Okay, so we're going to clean up the rest of this thing, and then once we get this cleaned up, then we're going to have to go into a structure. And what it is that the opening here is larger than the size of the demand tankless water heater that we're going to put in here. And so therefore we're going to have to build a frame, and really all that amounts to is putting in a vertical piece of wood right here, so we'll have something to attach the new flange to.
And it really tells you that in the instructions,
right,
where to cut it, and from what edge, and so it's really not that difficult.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of angle brackets and some screws and a piece of lumber, and we're going to get this thing put together in a relatively quick fashion here. You got this thing cleaned up yet?
Yeah, finally.
All right, let's...
what do you think? Look okay?
Yeah, well, it looks really good. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go 12 3/4 inches from this edge here to this, so right about where Bill's at now. So he's going to measure this distance first, so we know how much to cut.
We want 12 and 7/8.
12 and 7/8. So we're going to cut this piece of lumber here, 12 and 7/8.
That edge actually looks somewhat square.
Yeah, that's pretty close. So, and you want me to hold it over there for you?
Sure, why not? 12, 12, 12, and 7/8. Yeah, let me use this as a straight edge.
Yeah, so one of these days, Bill, we're going to buy a straight edge. So instead of having to use, pieces of the parts to make lines. Okay, we got our
slide it.
wood here. There you go. Perfect.
Perfect. Hold that down though, just a little bit. That'll help.
There you go. Okay, let's see if this thing's going to fit, Bill.
Ooh,
Perfect fit. Perfect fit. Okay.
Okay, hold it there. Hold on. Let me measure the 12 3/4 like they're calling for in the directions. So here, move it off. Let's see, 12 3/4. Where is it?
Right about there.
I'll just put a mark here because you're not going to see that once it goes back together. So all we need to do is put these at the 12 3/4 mark here. Well, so we'll nail it. We'll nail it down, probably right in the middle.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to measure, so we may have to move it over a little bit. The wood itself will be over a little bit. That's okay. That's gonna be fine.
I mean, we've got a little bit of leeway, so I'm going to go ahead and just nail that right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
No, this will work great.
Okay.
And it's way solid. If you could hold this one in place.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get these started. In the middle.
Let's see. I can't see it right there, so.
Oh, actually, I think you got it pretty good.
Okay.
Let me double check it.
Straight?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, let me get in here.
Okay. All right, now we're in good shape here.
Perfect.
You got that?
Yeah, I do. I just have to get my head around the corner so I can...
Okay, looks like we have a frame.
And it's solid too. Yeah, no, I love it.
Okay.
Let's see. So we're going to utilize the hot wire and the negative wire that are from the existing water.
Right.
Now, if you don't have a direct spark ignition model, you're not going to have 12 volts here, so you're going to have to get it somewhere and plumb it in.
What's going to happen here is that you have a switch in the tank, in the system itself, and so which is supposed to come outside, turn on, off. Now you can turn on, leave it on for the season. It doesn't draw that much, but just leave it on, hook it up into the same switch that operated the previous hot water tank, and then you can turn it on and off right from the panel that's on the wall. So it makes it really convenient. You have the wires ready, you have the switch ready, you're ready to roll.
Yeah, and there's no pressure. If there's no water pressure, there's not going to be any flame. So, but in this case, it really makes it convenient to have 12 volts right here.
Exactly.
So let's kind of dry fit this.
Yeah, I think we need to do that.
And if we calculate it right, it should go in there. And if we didn't calculate right, it won't go in there.
Okay, let's see here.
No, you know what? This bottom one's over just. I think the hole is not really square here.
Well, it could be.
So I'm gonna have to move this over just slightly. The top is good.
Isn't that what big hammers are for, Bill?
In some cases, yes. But in this case, we're not going to knock any sense into you, so we're going to move it over.
Okay, well, nice talk. Now, Bill, I just can't imagine that we have an opening here that's not perfectly square.
Well, no, and we all know the manufacturers wouldn't do anything like that.
No.
Yeah. Here, bring it out just a little bit this time.
Yeah, give you a little place to bite into that.
So actually, I got a better idea before we put that piece of wood in there.
You mean try it first?
Sure, why not?
Well, might as well.
Because we may have to move the top bracket, but
No, we don't. It's going to go right in there.
Perfect.
Perfect fit. These should go in the same holes that I drilled.
One would think.
You would think, yeah. I'll even let you do this on your own.
Okay.
Okay, now we can extend those wires, so we'll be able to connect it to the back of the unit itself.
Yeah, I'm hoping that those aren't really quite flush.
Yeah.
But let's do the wires anyway.
Yeah, we'll do the wires. You've got
Hold those.
We've identified the hot and the positive and negative wires here. This is ready to go on this end.
You got that one ready?
This one's ready. Which one do we got here?
Positive. Give me the black.
Yeah. Ready? This is really convenient, not having to run wires all the way.
Yeah, but
we could do it.
a lot of the time the converters are underneath the sink, so the power is right there.
There's always something around, you know.
Always. Almost always.
Always, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't say always, but let me kind of tape these together here.
Okay.
These other two wires aren't going to have any power to them. They're just sense wires, but this makes it a lot more convenient to kind of keep them fished back there out of the way.
Okay.
Maybe will it drape over that water line back there?
It will, so we're in good shape. Okay.
Okay, so I think
at this point, we're just ready to put this thing in.
you know, before we do, let me put the elbows on for the water lines. So yeah, lift that up. I don't want to scratch that door, so let me put a rag under there.
This. Okay.
Oh yeah, and the Teflon tape, your favorite and mine.
Mine, yeah, exactly. Okay.
One down.
One down, one to go. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put on we're putting on the elbows here so we can hook up the water lines. And the elbows are necessary because we don't have the exact configuration. So we're using the elbows and we'll have a little flexibility in the existing lines there. Yep, a little tight there.
That looks good.
Yeah, that'll work.
You want to put that one on? I'll
I
get
can
this
do
one.
that, yeah. Now we got to figure out which direction we want to go with
Okay,
this.
so that one is going to go that way,
That one.
and this one's going to face up.
Right. Okay.
Except I left the crescent wrench in there.
See how convenient? You don't even have to go through the door.
Yeah, maybe we could just leave this out.
It'd be really convenient. We'll have access.
Okay, you got it?
inside
I'm going
each
to
other.
really start turning it.
I got it. And you don't want to over torque these because if you over torque them, you're just going to twist these connections right out of the hot water.
And they're high quality brass fittings they have coming out the back, so it's really not necessary to crank them down super tight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we got the wires here. We still have the switch to put in, the baffle to put on, but let's give it a dry run and another run in the hole here. See how that's working.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me get this out of the way.
Your arm's not part of the project?
Nope, I didn't put a groove in there for it.
Wow.
Nice fit.
Look at that. It really does look nice, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm gonna get this door off and we'll pull it out one more time and put the putty tape on before we finish, but I'd like to really see how well it fits without the door.
Yeah, see this nice piece here? This is the addition to the flange that fills the space for the larger unit here.
Yeah, because it was a little bit hole was a little bit smaller, so
Right.
looks pretty good. Let's pull it out and put some putty tape on it. We can do it right there.
Yeah, we can.
Let me cut myself a piece here and I'll give this to you. There again, don't be afraid to use a little bit of extra because we're going to trim it anyway. It has to be trimmed, and that way you don't have to take the thing back out and wish you had put on extra. Hold on.
Let me get this off here first. I need another set of nails here. There we go.
You need some acrylics or something?
Okay. Let's get a little closer on that one, right to the edge there. Okay.
Okay, the bottom. You ready?
I'm ready. Okay.
Looks great.
Get her back in there.
Slowly, slow. Okay, let's don't push it too hard.
No.
What I'd really like to do is go in and finish the inside first,
Yeah,
get the
because
lines
in
on it.
case you need to have a little
Yeah, we get a little
flexibility.
bit of flex by
Right.
not nailing the outside down, so I can move it a little bit. And the water lines aren't always easy to get on, especially if you have a tighter space than this. So
You know, once we get those water lines on, then we'll connect this, and then once we're complete the outside portion of it, we can finish up with the switch. That's a flame adjustment knob, I believe it is.
right, and we'll
we
do
put
that
in.
on the
Yeah,
inside
we
as
do
well.
inside.
So let's
Okay.
go inside and do
All
it.
right, let's do it.
My main concern is the water lines and the gas line, because they're a little bit different here. The first thing I want to do is get those in place because they're not quite as easy to deal with as I would like. Come on. And these flare threads are, boy, if you're not dead on, they're not easy to get in place. Once you get them started and you feel it, you don't want to cross thread them because then you got to start all over again. Okay, I got that started. Got that started. Now the gas line. Go. Somebody throw me a pillow and I'll get comfortable. Fortunately, this tubing is fairly new and it's fairly easy to bend. And as you can see on this one, the gas line is at the back of the unit rather than out in the front of the unit. Oh, there, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna spin these down a little bit before I try to tighten them. It's a little bit easier to spin them with my fingers than to fight it with the wrench the whole way if I can. If you wanted to, and if you really don't have anything this close, you can extend these lines. Just buy a little bit more tubing and some other fittings. You could even change the fittings to go to the back of the, this one's gonna be stubborn all the way, so. And then once I'm fairly comfortable with these water lines are gonna fit good, then I'm gonna start to wire it. Okay, I'm gonna tighten these, but I'm gonna put a backup wrench on these because we do not want to twist one of these fittings out of the water heater. Snug. Snug, feels good. I'm going to tighten the gas line while I'm right here. I don't want to forget that. I don't want to turn the gas on after forgetting this and have the entire coach fill up with gas, so I want to make it a priority. We'll check for leaks a little bit later on. One of the things I don't want to forget either is the Romex we pulled out of there. I want to make sure I cut these off. Cut the bare ends off. I'm going to stagger these a little bit so even if the tape comes off, they can't touch each other. So as you can see, I've got all three of them staggered here. The ground wire, the common wire, and the hot wire. Then I'm going to tape these up really well and tuck them in out of the way. Sometimes tape can kind of unravel a little bit, so I'm going to put a couple of rows on here, and then I'm pretty sure that it's never going to be an issue. I'm going to tuck this down inside here where it'll be completely out of the way of everybody. Okay, water line's tight, gas line's tight. Time to do a little wiring. So I pulled these wires before. I butt connected them to the positive and negative before and brought them on this side here. So I'm going to butt connect the positive two wires together. Okay, positive. Black is positive. The negative wire is not only it's gonna have 3 wires, so you get the one coming out of the water heater, and we also have one coming out of this variable flame switch that comes with the unit. I'm going to mount this in the side of the cabinet here because it's real convenient, and then I'm going to wire it into the remaining wires here. So I'm going to cut a hole here. I'm going to get this unwound, get it through here. I think while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and mount that switch. Make sure it's straight. Feels good. Okay, so here's the 2 wires coming from the variable flame switch. One of them's another ground. This one simply plugs into this wire that's already existing. I'll do this first. That looks good. So I'm just going to butt connect 2 of these wires into one side. They're fairly small wires. Shouldn't be a problem. Make sure they're tight. Very tight. Well, it looks pretty good here. I know I tightened the gas line. I tightened the water line. The wiring looks good. We have positive to positive, negative to negative. This is your water heater bypass, so it's not in bypass mode at this time because we never changed that. Everything looks good. Need to go outside and finish it up.
Okay.
So it looks like we're about ready to put the screws in and tighten this down.
Yeah, before we do that, let's put the exhaust tube in so we don't forget it.
Great idea, almost forgot. This thing really needs to be here. It's just a protective.
Yeah, there you go. All right, perfect. All right, well, let's just get this thing tightened down to the wall and we'll trim it.
Hang on to some
We're getting pretty close.
So I'm just gonna reuse the ones that we took out of the other water heater. They're really nice screws, so.
Okay, let's trim this. Yeah, well, all we need to do is trim it. Perfect. Okay.
Now what do you, should I
I
caulk
think
it?
we'll do a little caulking here. Obviously, that would be for both cosmetic reasons and also to make sure that we absolutely do not have any water leakage. Because that's anytime you get any water leakage into a sidewall like this thing, it can end up with a delamination, and we just do not want to go there. Step back here, and I'll let you do your caulking duties here.
I'm on it.
Yeah, there you go. Looking good. Okay.
How's that?
I think we're in good shape here. I think we need to put the cover back on this thing or put the door back on. And before we do that, let's flip the switch and turn it on.
Oh, right, yeah, because we're going to use the inside switch.
We're going to use that inside switch that we have already. So we're going to leave that on forever. Okay, let's go.
It looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, we need to go inside and check for leaks.
So, Bob, now that we have the gas back on, I am going to check for leaks here, especially when we've done a new fitting, a brand new fitting. God, it looks great. I don't see anything leaking there. No, it looks really good. Nothing leaking. I'm going to wipe it back off. I don't want to leave that soapy water on there. Now I'm going to check the water lines for leakage. And even if it's just a little tiny spot, I want to wipe off all the excess. Even a little spot can, over a period of time, can really feel like you got, especially if it's on carpeting, it makes you think you got a flood in there. That one looks pretty good. That one looks good. Let me give it a second here. No, that one looks great. I don't see anything there. Great. No leaks. We're ready to fire it off.
Hey, Bill, turn on the water heater and water pump. So you think we're going to have instant hot water?
Absolutely. We did this right.
I think we should try it. Looks pretty good. It's already warm. Oh, look at that. It's warming up really nicely. Is that slick or what?
Ooh. Oh, nice. Oh, it's even getting hotter. Feel that.
Absolutely.
Oh, great.
Saves a lot of weight. It's instantaneous. Boy, there are a lot of great features in having one of these things. I'll tell you what, no more short showers, huh?
Great. Works for me.